Hello everyone, B.R. Newman here with this month's Astrology Tarot forecast, consisting of this month's most relevant astrological transits, as well as a 3-card tarot spread drawn specifically for your astrological zodiac sign. If you're watching this on YouTube, follow this up with a trip to my website, IamHELIOS.com, through the link below. If you want to gain clarity and confidence regarding a decision, a relationship, parenting techniques, travel, business, self-discovery, anything, I offer all kinds of readings, tarot and astrology. And if you're at all interested in learning how to do this stuff, I have an epic course enrolling now that you're going to want to know about. All kinds of new features, products and services are available there for various affordable rates. And there's some free stuff there too, so please do check it out. So what do we have going on here? These 3 cards have been drawn for Taurus, in which you have a central theme and 2 doorways to choose from as you proceed. The central theme is like a snapshot of your current situation, but it's also the essence you must embody in order to fully see the nature of these 2-dimensional timelines on either side of it, and then choose the doorway which is the best match for you. So let's consider your central theme. The Hermit. This card embodies seclusion, taking time off, taking time out, delving deep into something, seeking inspiration and wisdom. The Hermit's focus is singular and almost obsessive. His desire is to get to the core of all things, to find illumination from deep within. Fully embracing this card almost always entails doing something alone, taking sole responsibility for something. So this is certainly a card of independence and being alone, but not lonely. The Hermit has the clarity of his own thoughts. He has himself to keep himself company, and that's quite enough. No one put the Hermit in this position, no one abandoned or forgot him. He is where he is by design, by his own intent, to be away from distraction, to focus his mind. When introspection at this depth is achieved, the transition between one's own uninterrupted thoughts and communication with others can be rather painful, very jostling. When someone is, by design, deeply introspective, they will often, for lengthy stretches of time, put their own thoughts on hold, simply to avoid the transition between the freedom of their own thoughts and the experience of mutual communication with another person. When someone, unknowingly perhaps, interrupts this process, either to get the introvert's attention or to simply express themselves, the introvert will actually experience a kind of collapse, a drastic downgrade from the freedom of uninterrupted thought to what is perceived as mundane communication. And this collapse can be such a hindrance to certain people's psychological construction methods that some choose to seek solitude permanently. In this case, embracing this card does not necessarily entail such permanent seclusion, but rather suggests, if this card is fully embraced, that this is a time in which this kind of seclusion may in fact be vital to the process of discovering one's own inner illumination. Continuing on from your central theme, you can choose the left-hand path. The 6 of Cups. Like all 6s in tarot, this is associated with Tiferet on the Tree of Life, Sphirith number 6. This is known as the Sphirith of beauty, the light, the spirit, integration and action. Some say this has ties to the light of Christ or Buddha, the ultimate enlightened spirit within each of us. And as manifest through water, through cups in this case, this is the experience of pleasure, of harmony, of creativity, sensuality and sexuality, a kind of guiding orgasmic bliss that lets you know you're in the right place at the right time, heading in the right direction. So this card reminds you to follow your highest excitement, follow your bliss, as it's often said. Doing so takes a great deal of faith. To commit only to that which brings you pleasure is a huge risk. But it is precisely this action, this risk, this willingness to risk it all for the pursuit of pleasure may to some seem foolish, but it may in fact, if genuine, be that which aligns you with the law of attraction, the kind of miracle-mindedness that ensures your direct experience of this level of pleasure, and ultimately the truth that you are in fact on the right path. Therefore, this card asks you, is this possible? If it is, you'll know it. If not, you'll probably find yourself weighing the pros and cons. Continuing on from your central theme, you can choose the right-hand path. The 10 of Discs. Like all 10s in tarot, the 10 of Discs is associated with Malkuth on the Tree of Life, Sphirith number 10, the final realm, the kingdom, the world, the dimension of experience in which all things are made real. And as manifest through Earth, in this case this is Discs, this is the experience of outer wealth, infinite resources, you could say, total security, but with the risk of all of the inescapable heaviness that goes with that. So this card embodies the paradigm in which we sacrifice freedom for the sake of security. There's a real danger of that when wealth reaches a certain level. The great author, Professor J.R.R. Tolkien, called this dragon sickness. The idea is when you sit on heaps upon heaps of wealth, it gains a kind of power over you, a consciousness in and of itself. You become obsessed. You fear losing it more than anything else. Therefore, this wealth and security ceases to be wealth and security. Your active participation in the flow of wealth comes to a halt. The more you have, the more you fear losing. The more you fear losing, the more you're living in fear. The more you're living in fear, the less you are yourself, and the more this fear has gained control and possessed you. And this dragon sickness, you could call it, is not limited to those who possess the wealth. This has a way of trickling back to those who don't have it. Those who don't have wealth often resent those who do. A lot of times, people will feel immediately guilty if it's suggested that they're worthy of accumulating material wealth. So this card warns you to guard against this whole spectrum, whether you have it or whether you don't. You might in fact be harboring judgments that are stifling your natural growth. If this might be the case, embracing this card involves thoroughly, honestly examining that potential within yourself. So this reading I gave you here sets the stage. We're about to cover your astrological influences. To take this tarot side further, check out my website IamHelios.com and take the Choose Your Own Tarot adventure. And this completely free feature will take you through a much more elaborate tarot reading and ultimately a fate card and a very specific brainwave entrainment frequency designed to make your life easier at this unique juncture. Of course, to get truly serious and very specific in the most useful way possible, you're going to want to contact me for a tarot reading, for an astrology reading, or a tarot-astrology fusion reading. You'll be so glad you did. Now here are the most relevant transits for this month. You might want to write down some of these dates. Starting off, we have on February 3rd, Mercury in Aquarius sextile Mars in Sagittarius. An excellent window of time for getting really clear about large-scale dreams, communicating your feelings and thoughts. Enthusiastic expression can do a lot to help you get really clear about your ideas, to help you solidify them, to help you actualize them. On the 3rd of February, you have Venus in Aquarius square Jupiter in Scorpio, and this can at times be problematic because it can bring challenges regarding money, love, and communication, and considering that juxtaposed with the Mercury in Aquarius sextile Mars in Sagittarius, this could cause confusion. This can bring a slight bump in the road, a temporary confusion or obstacle that compels you to increase your effort, to strengthen something, to get a little more clear and more certain so you can burst through the obstacle, training yourself to have an easier time with similar obstacles in the future, so it's not without purpose. And then on February 6th, there's a transit that could be rather pleasant, Venus in Aquarius sextile Uranus in Aries. You might find that you have a little more social grace and a little better luck when it comes to your love life and your finances. Artistic expression could come quite easily at this time. This is a wonderful time for launching something new, a new idea, a new business idea, or making romantic suggestions to your partner or to someone new. On the 10th, you'll have the Sun in Aquarius square Jupiter in Scorpio. So this is where exaggeration can happen. You might overestimate yourself, so just be cautious. Stay humble, stay realistic, make sure you have all of your details in order before you take action. Just be cautious. In Jupiter in Scorpio, you might find yourself to be a little loopier than usual on that day. You might find yourself staring off into the distance, unable to fix your attention on what you need to fix your attention on. Don't worry, though, about this fleeting transit. If you have to focus your mind and you have to concentrate on that day, this is also a wonderful day for collaboration, so don't be afraid to ask for help. With the Sun in Aquarius, sextile Uranus in Aries, all forms of collaboration are really positively aspected, so you might consider bringing someone else in to help you get the job done, whatever that job happens to be. On February 15th, you'll have the new moon in Aquarius. Now, this is a big deal. This is when creative solutions might come into your mind. It's like getting upgraded. This is the Epiphany Day. You might find that such realizations and blasts of clarity can come to you through communication, through collaboration, so this has been a repeating theme thus far this month. On February 17th, you'll have the Sun in Aquarius conjunct Mercury in Aquarius, so this is when your mind expands, your intellectual capacity increases, and your focus definitely by now will have returned to normal, but you might find yourself, kind of boosted beyond your usual capacity. And then on the 21st, you'll have Venus in Pisces conjunct Neptune in Pisces. Again, referring back to collaboration being enhanced this month, this carries with it implications that collaborative creative efforts could blossom into something more, whether this means something romantic or that the project, whatever it is that you're working on together, goes further than you would expect it to go, turning into something more beautiful than you anticipated. On the 25th, you'll have Venus in Pisces square Mars in Sagittarius. You might feel a little lonely, a little neglected, and with Mercury conjunct Neptune in Pisces, you might also feel a little confused. Perhaps confused as to why you feel this way. You might feel this way even in the midst of a loving, supportive community. And that's how you'll know this is merely the fleeting effect of an astrological transit, and there's some purpose to it. You can actually use this feeling as a means of tapping into some trauma sources in your own life, and maybe resolving them, moving through the energy that you feel. You can separate the feeling from the subject and then ask yourself, where is this feeling affecting my experience? Feel it in your body. And go as far as asking yourself, when did I last feel this? Are feelings like this markers along some pattern I might need to look closer at? Now, of course, in addition to these tarot astrology horoscopes, I have also provided a set of entrainment frequencies, binaural beats, isochronic tones, and subliminal audios that will assist you with all of these challenging aspects. So listening to that regularly will help you address these transits appropriately, both the opportunities and the challenges. And you can find those on my YouTube channel or at IamHelios.com through the link below if you're watching this on YouTube. Also on the 25th, you'll have the Sun in Pisces sextile Saturn in Capricorn. So, despite all of the challenging aspects going on, this will be a day of things getting a little more refined, rough edges getting smoothed out. Through this beneficial materialization of abstract ideas, circumstances and subjects you may have been struggling with get brought into focus, perhaps presenting themselves as something a little more workable, for which you can develop and implement practical, tangible solutions. There might be a very productive day on the 27th with Venus in Pisces sextile Pluto in Capricorn. This makes for intuitively guided creativity derived from practical considerations, meaning that your intuition will guide you in the direction of developing systems that actually work to materialize your vision, rather than doing what it sometimes does, guides your awareness and your attention towards some figment of your imagination, some castle in the sky that'll never find its way into the material realm. So this has the potential to be one of those cases where it just happens differently. And I certainly recommend taking advantage of this date because on the 28th, the following day, you have Mercury in Pisces square Mars in Sagittarius. So this is where misunderstandings can take place, and you might find that your communication is stifled. Ideas that you would like to express just don't come out right. So if you are at all, by this time, in any way, undergoing some process of collaboration, which seems to be a theme this month, make sure that you're communicating your ideas very clearly before the 28th. Make sure that whatever it is that is your part of the project is conveyed properly so that everyone knows what you're doing. Because when it comes to the 28th, Mercury in Pisces square Mars in Sagittarius, if you attempt to convey what you should have conveyed before, you could find that people simply don't understand you, or you just have a really hard time conveying simple ideas. They may eventually understand, but you'll have to work harder to get there. Fortunately, the solution is written into this day, because also, on the 28th, you'll have Mercury in Pisces sextile Pluto in Capricorn. So this is when compassionate communication can go a long way. And this, of course, implies that any misunderstanding that might take place because of Mercury in Pisces square Mars in Sagittarius may be due to an apparent lack of consideration or compassion. So to ensure that you are on guard for misunderstandings, be especially compassionate and cautious with all forms of communication that take place under the influences of these transits. So that's a wrap for this one. Check out all of the new features on my website. Of course, you know I offer readings, astrology readings, tarot readings, and astrology tarot fusion readings. And as you may already be aware, Tarot Secrets Revealed, the Ultimate Tarot Mastery course, is now enrolling, and you can secure your spot within the course for as little as $33 per month. Very small investment considering you would be walking away from this course having mastered the art of tarot to an extremely rare degree. Seats are limited and this opportunity may never come again. So yes, absolutely, get in on this action now while you can. What you might not know is that I am now offering custom empowerment packages which consist of binaural beats, isochronic tones, subliminal audios, and other forms of brainwave entrainment tailored specifically to either your astrological wiring or any set of requests based on just about any desired results. So you can either discover what your astrological placements sound like, translated into sound, and not just any sound, sound that directly benefits you, accentuating, amplifying your natural gifts, and helping you to overcome any of the limitations that might be written into your astrological makeup. Or we can work together examining your unique set of circumstances to develop a special set of frequencies designed to help you bring about the results you want. It's really easy to get this going, so just follow the link below to get this started. A fun and free service that I now offer there is the Choose Your Own Tarot Adventure. So this is an automated tarot reading that's in the Choose Your Own Adventure style. Ultimately, you land on a single fate card, and with it, a set of frequencies that help you bring out the best aspects of that card. So if you're watching this on YouTube, below this video I've provided a set of direct links. So if you want to book a reading, sign up for a course, order one of these Astrological Transcendence Packages, or just see more information about all of the above, it's all there for you, so just follow those links, and maybe I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching.